Good Sunday evening, everybody. City Council candidate for Ward 8, Eglinton Lawrence, dantrayes here. Just wanted to do a Sunday update with you and give you a couple of updates on some questions I've been asked. I figured Sunday's a good time to do it. Everybody's relaxing, getting the kids ready for tomorrow's activities. Here in Toronto, they're not back to school yet. I believe it's in a couple of weeks, sometime in the first or second week of December, or September, sorry. So, everybody's getting ready to start their work week and everything. So I just wanted to give a quick update and maybe a topic of discussion for the week for everybody. So for today, I picked three situations where I will give my opinions on three things, and we'll take it from there. So somebody was asking me today, I wanted to make the first issue about question about today. Somebody was asking me about the buses we saw all up and down Marley. So for those of you that don't know a lot about the TTC or don't happen to take it, those buses on Marley are what we call shuttle buses. Now, every once in a while, there's some scheduled maintenance on the outside portion of Line 1, and on the university side of Line 1, as everybody knows, that's a Young University line. On the university side of Line 1, which happens to be on the west side, Marley Avenue is the street that they use to run the shuttle buses in between the subway stations. It's one of the main streets. So all those buses were on Marley today because of that. Now, occasionally, it'll also be because they have an emergency situation on the line or like a fire or issue, and they just redirect the buses, and rather than putting them on Allen Road, they put them on Marley. So that's why the buses were on Marley today. Otherwise, our buses run every 20 minutes to half hour here, right? It's a small route. But why this came up as a topic as well is because it's a cause for concern in the wintertime. So anybody that lives in the area, that actually lives in Ward 8, Eglinton Lawrence, and in this community, knows that the southwest portion of Roselawn and Marley Avenue, every winter for the past, 7 years that I've lived in this neighborhood, this particular neighborhood, every winter that southwest portion is left alone. The plows are not getting the sidewalks. Residents are left to shovel their way out of the basic needs, like to be able to walk with their children in strollers on the sidewalk. I know this because for the past 3 years, the shovels of the incumbent have been sitting in my closet. And the reason for that is I've been the one that's been shoveling that corner for the past 3 years. The problem is that on this corner of the neighborhood, on this southwest portion, the snowbanks build up. The York belt line at the beginning of it for the first couple hundred meters is not properly maintained in the winter, and all the snow builds up there. So when we have all these TTC buses, because we have 2 transit lines down here now, plus the shuttle buses, which we accept as a neighborhood, but the problem is now the safety. When that section of Marley Avenue is not maintained, as it has been the case for the past few years, it causes safety issues, such as residents trying to cross the streets, getting off buses and slipping on snowbanks. And the bus stops are averagely maintained, but the rest of the road is not. And it seems to be that only that section. Now, you think after 40-something years, the incumbent would have got it right by now. But time and time again, we are ignored, similar to the way Scarborough was ignored. And this is one of the reasons why I am running to be your next city councilor in Ward 8, Eglinton Lawrence, is because I'm living these issues with you. TTC and safety are 2 big issues, and when combined, they bring up a whole plethora of issues that have been neglected for I don't know how many decades now. So my goal in this election, and my goal going forward for our community, is to work with the community as a whole to come up with some little tinkers here and there to make the plan fulfilled, to keep everybody safe, and to make the community work for the community. The second question I got asked, which came up a lot this week, I'm surprised, is my ideas on the protests and what they've become. I'm going to tell you point blank, I think they're stupid. Now, I love a great protest. I'd be happy to participate in some of them. In fact, I have over the years. But it has to make sense. And in order for it to make sense, you need two key points. You need to have an issue, and you need to have solutions. There's been an issue, but there's been absolutely no solutions. It's been grift after grift after grift. All you have to do to see that is go over to Karima Rules on all the social medias, and they do great coverage of all these protests, and I'm using air quotes. You can see everything firsthand for yourself. And I'm not sitting here, I want to make it perfectly clear. I'm not sitting here pitching a bitch about any issue, any country, any sex, any person, nothing. I'm simply saying you have an issue and you have solutions. And when it becomes just an issue, it's a problem. Countless times, years, decades now, some of these incumbents and some of the lifelong people sitting down at 100 Queen Street West, for those of you that don't know, that's City Hall. Sorry about that. There goes another one of the buses. They get too comfortable. And they will give you lip service and do actually nothing about it. And it's being proven time and time and time again. Now, I've been told in this election it's time for change. But what some of these folks are not telling you is that some of these special interest groups that and again, air quotes, protest, are actually known to City Hall. They've been known to City Hall for years. Years. But nobody wants to ruffle any feathers, so they just kept quiet about it. You have two councillors in this area that have been here for a combined over 60 years, and it's still not right. We need public consultation from community members that care, and we need to have these special interest groups stop hiding behind the guise, whether it's the MP, the MPP, or the current incumbent. They have to stop hiding under the guise of a party, because folks, don't kid yourself. These people are running some of those campaigns. And I know this firsthand because I've been a part of some of the campaigns knocking on doors. I'm the guy that's been knocking on your door for the past 7-8 years now. Going back to Marco Mendocino days. Okay? And what happens is they give you a false sense of hope. They preach their issue and nobody else's. And it becomes, again, air quotes, protests, and not what's best for the community. And we need to change this because there are some groups in the community that do great work promoting the community, talking about transit, talking about housing, talking about homelessness. But everybody gets tied up in this political stuff. And what people are forgetting is a municipal campaign is a totally independent campaign from any party, from any special interest group. It's supposed to be about community for community. And when others are being held down because certain people at the top feel comfortable, it becomes a problem. In this election, let's make it about helping those on Marley Avenue that have TTC issues, that have mobility issues. Let's help the youth up in Lawrence Heights. Let's promote the businesses along Bathurst and the safety of those people because they are human beings, as opposed to making it about a political statement. Let's just do the work. How about that? There's a concept. Hey, do the work. I'm a guy with lived and work experience in the field. Let's get it done. The last thing I wanted to talk about today and touch on briefly, because it's going to be a topic going forward the next couple of months, is safety. And some people have been asking my ideas to fix things and stuff. You're never going to fix things totally 100%. Whether it be safety in the community, safety on the TTC, your property, what have you. It's never going to be perfect. However, I have experience in this field. I was part of the Toronto Safety Network for a year back in 2020. I was a constituency assistant for a deputy mayor in 6. Could have been 5, but it might have grown to 6 NIAs, not BIAs, NIAs, and those are neighborhood improvement areas. Galloway, Orton Park, Kingston Road, Mornell Court. I did it all, man. So I'm the only candidate in this race with the actual hands-on experience to take this to the next level. And it's not just busting gang members. It's not just stopping the retail robberies. It's not just stopping the break-ins that I've been hearing about in some cars and homes. It's about getting the community together and making us feel like a community so we can rely on each other. Another thing I'm going to be implementing is a mandatory attendance to the CPLC meetings, and that's Community Police Liaison Committee meetings. There will be myself or somebody from my office dedicated to these meetings and attending every time there is one. We are also going to implement monthly or bi-monthly town hall meetings, and they're going to be put on in different areas of the whole ward, each community, so that we can discuss face-to-face, lived experience at the table, the issues that are going on in that neighborhood. Why? So that we can come up with actual solutions. I'm sick of the name calling. I'm sick of the what about. I'm sick about people not carrying Canadian flags and claiming that they're here for Canada. I'm sick of people yelling about, there's nothing we can do. There is something you can do. Use your voice. And on October 26th, hopefully these ideas render in your mind as they're rendering in Austin's mind right now. He does this every video at the end. But I hope that you get out and vote between October 6th and 11th at the advanced polls. October 26th, let's elect dantrayes as our next city councillor. And one last favor I have to ask from previous councillors and previous incumbents, because they're only candidates now, is stop saying my ward, my constituents, my people. It's our ward, our constituents, our people, and our community. Enjoy your Sunday evening. I hope y'all that are heading to work this week have a great week. And remember, reach out anytime. It's not just for contributions. Hell, we need contributions. I'm having to work double the time, double as hard as the other candidates. I'm not complaining about it because it's what's got to be done. But we need contributions at dantrayes@gmail.com. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it that way, just hit me up at dantrayes@gmail.com and tell me to come on by and we'll have a discussion at the same time. You can also reach me at Toronto Dan, that's TORONTODANN, on the social medias. I usually just answer on Twitter or X or whatever you're calling it, but I'm noticing that everything I'm putting on Facebook is going through Instagram, which I never touch. So, hey, got to do what you got to do. We do need the contributions for the signs coming up. But they're, the most important thing is to listen, involve every candidate, and that goes directly to the mainstream media and all community groups. Involve every candidate in the debates, the discussions, the roundtables. And on October 26th, let's make this happen. Stop using the words my, and let's start thinking of our community as ours. Take care. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you next Sunday.